week we'll continue with the Cockpit Makeover, mostly working on the bulkhead between the cockpit and the salon. To get this right and to only have to do it once, there's a lot of moving things back and forth, small adjustments, and lots of thinking and rethinking and replanning. But this is coming together now. Yeah, I have to replace the strength lost by removing this bulkhead as part of the bulkhead. So I made the window cutout is a frame for laying up unidirectional glass around. So I'll lay up 5mm of unidirectional glass around here and around the door cutout, and then glue that into place on the bulkhead, replacing the strength of the cutouts. And I've already cut the glass, I just haven't quite gotten the courage to to lay it up yet. So, I've made a couple of fiberglass items overnight. This is a bracket that will be used for, well, 2 brackets that will be used for the steering gear. And it's looking really solid. I have had some problems removing the peel ply, but yeah. I'll get it off, and this is what the surface looks like without the peel ply. This is peel ply with, well, a bit too much epoxy, so it's well stuck. But it's coming off, and this is what I'm left with, a beautiful, flat, solid piece of glass. And it's thick. The other thing, I was planning on reusing these battens. That's not gonna happen. But the frame turned out fantastic. And it came off pretty easy once the battens were gone. And it fits. It is just the right thickness for me to get in there and be able to put some glue in and still keep it straight. So I'll need to clean this up, sand it off, rough up the surface, and then glue it in place. This is a lot of unidirectional glass, putting back some strength into the bulkhead it came out from. And I've marked it so I know what goes where. I'll make sure I don't sand that off.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boy.
So the reinforcing uni is in place. And while we're at it, I'm straightening out this bulkhead. It had quite a curve, I'm guessing, because it's been cut and modified a few times in its life. So straightening that out with the help of the uni reinforcements here, and then we'll see how much more it needs once that's once the 2 openings are filled in again. And I've just measured out and cut a panel to replace the material here. So we'll glue that in today, and once the door frame uni is done, we'll take some of the door frame and put in here, do the same for the starboard side. I'm gonna try and glue the steering panel together with the pedestal here and have that as one piece, which is hopefully a good idea. And it'll work. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. For now, at least. And with no hatches. But yeah, that way at least I don't have to puzzle too much to get everything in place when we're lining things up. So this panel is gonna connect to the pedestal here, and yeah, hopefully not to the rest of the boat.
There's a joint on the corner where the big boys play, where the whiskey's running like the river, but they all never come for the booze and bass. I'm the one, I'm the lady that'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. Rock this place. Rock this place. Rock this place.
And here we have the uni reinforcement for the door. So that's going to take a while to unpack. So let's have a look at the
Oh, but
Oh.
these are screwed in the...
I'd hope so. Yeah, just remove them.
Okay, now. Are you ready?
Okay. Oh, not there. Here. No, here. Oh, but that's dry now.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Ooh. Well. Not too bad, eh?
Looks really good. This will just sand away quickly, and when we glue it into the bulkhead, we'll fill this in at the same time. So, no, that'll be easy.
And look at this.
Yeah, those look perfect. They're perfect.
Yes.
Just like we cut out a week ago. Yeah, no, looking good. That was a pretty good way, actually, of removing that sort of fitting. Just removing the whole skin. Because we don't need it then. This is just too much glass. But yeah.
We have to sand it.
Nah, I think we'll just put it in place, and then when we fare the bulkhead, we fare this in, and this will mostly be behind the seat anyway. No, it won't.
No.
It will be about
Behind the table.
yeah. Or we put it on the inside, maybe. Maybe we can put it on the inside. It'll be, then it'll be in the cupboard there. Because the other side it looks flatter. But this is a very nice piece of balsa panel that's been glued together from smaller pieces of balsa panels, and that's been cut and glued together so many times. It's the Frankenstein of balsa panels. The whole bulkhead will be. Yeah.
Okay, let's see the door.
Yeah, it's loose now, I think. It's loose, but there's like 100 screws to remove, so. Or nails to remove. Yeah. Watch your fingers. This is gonna be sharp. Yeah. That looks good. It's really good. But yeah, we have to. Yeah, the buttons. With lots of violence. reinstalling some strength to this bulkhead. We've taken part of this window and placed in this former door, and we're trying to make that as flat and straight and as easy for us as possible to fare. And the outside is going to be plain like this, so we chose to make that as flat as we can. The inside will be covered by a cupboard, and it's not as important that it's absolutely flat. We've got uni glass in one of the windows, and we just took the frame off the door, and we're ready to sand this uni, clean it up a bit before we install it in the frame. And this is very uniform. It's real nice actually. It's about 5mm thick all the way around, and yeah, it's a lot of reinforcement. It looks real good actually. So while Roxana is sanding away on the uni frame, I'm gonna take this part of old bulkhead and build a piece that'll cover the old starboard door. Things are going well today. We've filled up the 2 old doors and glued some uni in place. And this bulkhead is returning to what it should be. We're filling up these holes now. Rox is cutting 2 pieces of balsa for that. And I'm measuring out the side windows to see what we can do there.
Got up this morning, look around and see the sun high. I grab my bag and take my phone. I shut the door and walk into the light. Oh yeah. And suddenly my phone is ringing. I can hear my boss shouting at me. You know what? He wants me to hurry, but I will not control my feet. Oh no. It is so sweet under the sun. And even if my pocket's empty, I don't really want to go to work. It is so sweet under the sun. I'm gonna take my time, 'cause I don't really want to go to work. Now that I'm hearing all these wonderful songs in my head, I'm singing and dancing, I love it, I'm losing my mind. Oh yeah, my phone is ringing again.
This is beginning to look like a bulkhead again. Again, Roxana is filling in corners here. She's filled in these beautiful holes. And yeah. Ooh. And I'm about to cut out one of the side windows. back to cutting uni, and this is for the last two triangular windows on the side of Cockpit to Salon Bulkhead. So I have those two pieces that are here. I'll tape them later before putting the glass on. I think that might be a good idea. And yeah, this is the uni I'll use. I'll split this in two and lay up both windows at once. I found a use for the worst tape I've ever bought. I bought what I thought was regular duct tape, but what was a PVC duct tape. It's more like a really weak electrical tape, and it has been utterly useless until today. So, yeah. Well taped in uni. I've used the cutout again as a template for the bottom half, and a 12:1 taper on the join with the old uni, and the same on both sides. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. So a lot of glass reinforcement.
Whatever about to dance, I'm just like I tell you. And when I say hold yourself, I want all of you get ready to stop. When I say stop, don't move. And when I say get it, I want all of y'all to go hold it now.
This is more glass than per design. Design calls for 4 millimeters. This is 5 millimeters of glass in every opening. Yeah, this is a strong boat. And the cockpit is approaching completion, even if it doesn't actually look like it right now. This is not too bad. I've done pretty much all I want to do in here structurally. Now all that remains is gluing everything in place again. The seating, steps, the steering panel, and yeah, then we're pretty well off.